right, great. So we completed our header in step 100.0 and on our 100-0 branch. There's a couple things that we want to do. We want to do them in basically in the order that I do them is probably your best. First of all, we want to check localhost, and we want to see that we're on the right folder and make sure that everything looks good before we even go and think about merging, which we know it's good. We've tested it. And just kind of assess where we're at. If we look out here on our 1xx GitHub, we see that we have just the master branch with 2 commits. And if we go and check our web server, we see that we have HTTPS is working, and we have what we originally started with. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and we're going to push our branch to the to our GitHub repository, and we're going to do that because we just always want it to fall back on, and it's just a good idea. So instead of deleting it in normal production, normally you might do a merge and then it gets deleted after a while. But for now, let's go ahead and let's just do a git push origin. And what we're pushing is 100-0. And when we do this, it's basically saying, hey, git push the current code inside this branch origin to 101 to GitHub, to whatever origin's pointing to, and in this case it's our GitHub repository. So when I go ahead and I hit enter, we get error because it wants my username and password, Brian R. Savage. Remember, when we're typing our password, you're not going to be able to see it. I typed in my password and it looks like we had a good push. So at this point, I should be able to come out and take a look, and you can see that it was pushed less than a minute ago. And I have my master branch, which I'm on, and then I have my 100-0 branch, which is there. We can see the difference. No assets folder. The code is very different. And so at this point, if we went out to our pages, our GitHub pages, and took a look as well, I'm going to open that up in a new tab so I can get back to my code, which is pointing to our master branch. It looks the same as production. We'll always call our web host production, the piece that's out there. Our local host, of course, looks different because we're currently on that branch. Thing to understand and pay attention to is the funny part is when I do a git checkout master, if I come out here to my local host and I refresh it, we're going to see it goes back to the old version. As a matter of fact, if I go into Dreamweaver right now and I take a look at it, we'll see also that it looks like we're missing the assets folder. That's because we checked out the branch, right? The master branch, which did not have all the code that we just did in that 101 branch. So if I do git checkout 100-0, what happens is we see it just brings those files back in. And if we go out and we look at localhost again, we'll see that our work is all there. So again, I'm going to go back and we've pushed our branch up. I'm going to git checkout master, and of course we'll see that disappears again. Same with Dreamweaver. Why? Because we're now in the master branch. It's basically the same as moving to a different folder. Now what we can do is we can say, hey, we want to bring that 100-0 into master. So normally when we're done developing a feature for a website and it's been tested and through performance and is good to go, normally your senior developer, your technical manager, someone with a rope around their neck, with a big rope around their neck, will come into Git and say, Git merge, and then we're going to merge in the branch that we just worked on. And at this point, remember, before I hit enter, I'm going to one more time just visit the browser so you can see on localhost, Dreamweaver so you can see here, and you can see we're on the master branch. So at this point, if I hit enter, it's bringing in all of the code, and it's saying, get merge, updating, fast forward. It's bringing in this information, number of lines that have changed and are being inserted is 428, 3 deletions, created 2 files. That's what that information is there. And if I come over to Dreamweaver now and I do a refresh of the local files, we can see that I am now on master, and that's my files. If I go here to my local host and I refresh, we can now see that that is what I have. Our last step is to go ahead and do what we would call a production release. What is a production release? Essentially, a production release is when we push our files to our production server so that it can reflect all the changes as well. At this point, I'm going to go into Dreamweaver. I'm going to use my readme file, and I'm going to open with Dreamweaver, and I'm going to come down and I'm going to say inside out project version 100.0, and what we're doing is basically building a manifest, and we're going to say added header resize functionality. For now, we'll keep it kind of short and sweet, but we'll keep that there. We'll go ahead and we'll close that file out. We want that to go up, and additionally, we want our master and our GitHub to be updated as well. So the first thing we're going to do, we know we added nodes, so we're going to run a git status, and we should get it modified. My commander is thinking at the moment. Try hitting enter again. There we go. The readme file was modified. So I'm going to go ahead and add that change. I'm going to go ahead and do a commit. And in my commit, I'm going to just let everybody know. Merged 100-0 branch into master and pushing to production. Anytime we say production, we're talking about our live site. So I've made that commit. Run a git status again real quick. We're clean. So at this point, we're going to do a push origin master it's going to ask us for I need to go set my globals. Put in my password. At this point, I should be able to go out and look at my GitHub. We should see another commit and push, and we can see here merged, right? If we go back to our code, if we come out here to our GitHub Pages, we'll actually see our site come up now, because this is pointing to master, and we merged 100-0 into master at this point. The only thing we have left to do is our production release. Like we said, we'll go ahead out the Dreamweaver. Up here, what we're going to do is we're actually going to just use a synchronize. And we need to come into the file system where we've been looking at. And we want to push master, by the way, to our server. We'll go ahead and go synchronize. This will go out and it'll look at what's out there. We want to tell it delete remote files not on our local drive. We want to preview it. and it's all puts because it's all modifications or adds. We'll hit OK. And hopefully as we're doing this, every time we do a merge and commit, I'll try to talk through the process and keep it as consistent as I can, and also share with you different tidbits of information. But at this point, we should be able to refresh our production server, our web host, and we see that our website is there in Git. Awesome. So at this point, we'll get ready to go do our footer, and that'll be another video, and we'll go in and we'll create our branch and get started on that.